History books often tell a simple story. The Soviets launched Sputnik. Then America woke up and sent its own satellite into space. But the real story, the one that unfolded on this day, January 31st, 1958, is a tale of rivalry, redemption, and a secret weapon that changed the space race forever. This isn't just about a satellite. It's about how a small team of overlooked scientists and engineers beat the odds and revealed a fundamental secret about our planet. Let's rewind a bit. The year is 1957. The Cold War is at its peak, and the sky is the new battlefield. On October 4th, the world wakes up to a chilling beep, 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 broadcast from orbit. The Soviet Union has successfully launched Sputnik 1, the world's first artificial satellite. For America, it's a profound shock. The media calls it a technological Pearl Harbor. The fear is palpable. If the Soviets can put a satellite into orbit, what else can they do? Can they launch missiles from space? The pressure on the US government and its scientific community is immense. America's official satellite program, Project Vanguard, was supposed to be the nation's shining moment. It was managed by the US Navy, well-funded and highly publicized. But it was also plagued by delays and technical issues. The program was designed to be a civilian, scientific endeavor, separate from military rocket programs, to project an image of peaceful exploration. But after Sputnik, peace was the last thing on anyone's mind. It was about catching up, and fast. On December 6, 1957, the whole world was watching as the Vanguard rocket was prepared for launch at Cape Canaveral. This was meant to be America's answer. As the countdown reached 0 and the engines ignited, the rocket rose just a few feet off the launch pad, then tilted, buckled, and exploded in a massive fireball. The satellite it was carrying, a tiny sphere nicknamed the Grapefruit, was thrown clear and landed in the nearby brush, pathetically beeping. The international press had a field day. Newspapers ran headlines like Flopnik and Kaputnik. It was a national humiliation. The failure of Vanguard opened the door for a competing team, a group that had been waiting in the wings. This was the Army Ballistic Missile Agency in Huntsville, Alabama, led by the brilliant and controversial Wernher von Braun. Von Braun and his team of German rocket scientists, brought to the U.S. after World War II, had been developing the Jupiter C rocket, a powerful and reliable missile. They had been arguing for months that they could put a satellite into orbit, but were repeatedly told to stand down in favor of the Navy's Vanguard. After the Vanguard disaster, the government finally gave them the green light. The directive was clear: do it, and do it now. The pressure was on. The team was given just 90 days to succeed where Vanguard had failed. This is where our hero, Explorer 1, enters the story. While von Braun's team worked on the rocket, another group at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, or JPL, in California, led by Dr. William Pickering, was frantically designing and building the satellite itself. And inside that satellite was a crucial scientific instrument designed by Dr. James Van Allen of the University of Iowa. Van Allen was a physicist, fascinated by cosmic rays high-energy particles that bombard Earth from outer space. He wanted to measure them, and he designed a compact, lightweight Geiger counter to do just that. The design of Explorer 1 was completely different from Sputnik. Sputnik was a big, shiny sphere designed to be seen and heard. It was a propaganda victory. Explorer 1, on the other hand, was long, thin, and packed with technology. It was a pencil-shaped cylinder about 80 inches long and just 6 inches in diameter. It was designed not just to get into orbit, but to do science once it was there. The night of January 31st, 1958, was cold and clear at Cape Canaveral. The rocket, a modified Jupiter C, now called Juno I, stood gleaming under the floodlights. The tension was unbearable. Another failure would be catastrophic for American morale and its standing in the world. As the final countdown began, a nation held its breath. At 10:48 p.m., the engines roared to life, and the Juno I rocket gracefully lifted off the pad, a streak of fire climbing into the dark sky. Unlike Vanguard, the ascent was flawless. The rocket disappeared into the night, and then silence. Now came the agonizing wait. The rocket had to perform a complex series of maneuvers to get the satellite into the correct orbit. There was no live telemetry feed like we have today. The team on the ground had to wait for the satellite to circle the Earth and be detected by tracking stations in California. The minutes ticked by, feeling like hours. Was it up there? Did it work? Doubts began to creep in. Had they failed again? Werner von Braun maintained a confident exterior, but inside, he was just as nervous as everyone else. Finally, the call came in. A tracking station had a signal. It was faint, but it was there. Explorer 1 was in orbit. The control room erupted in cheers. Pickering, von Braun, and Van Allen were lifted onto the shoulders of their ecstatic colleagues, a moment captured in one of the most iconic photographs of the space age. America was finally in the race. But the story doesn't end there. In fact, the most exciting part was just beginning. As Explorer 1 orbited the Earth, Dr. Van Allen's instrument started sending back data. And the data was weird. Really weird. As the satellite flew at higher altitudes, the Geiger counter, which was supposed to be clicking away measuring cosmic rays, would suddenly go completely silent. The count would drop to 0. First, the team thought the instrument was broken. It didn't make any sense. How could there be fewer cosmic rays at higher altitudes? It should be the opposite. But Van Allen had a brilliant insight. The instrument wasn't broken. It was being completely overwhelmed. The radiation levels were so incredibly high that the Geiger counter was saturated, unable to register any counts at all, effectively shorting out. What Explorer 1 had discovered was a previously unknown phenomenon: 2 massive donut-shaped belts of intense radiation trapped by Earth's magnetic field. They were immediately named the Van Allen radiation belts. This was a monumental discovery, the first major scientific finding of the space age, and it was made by the United States. It fundamentally changed our understanding of the space environment around our planet. These belts are a critical factor for all subsequent space missions. They pose a danger to both astronauts and sensitive electronics, and all missions, from the Apollo moon landings to the International Space Station, have had to be planned to either avoid them or pass through them as quickly as possible. So, while Sputnik got there first and grabbed the headlines, Explorer 1 delivered the first scientific knockout punch. It proved that American technology wasn't just about catching up. It was about pushing the boundaries of knowledge. The mission was a perfect blend of rocket engineering from von Braun's team, satellite design from JPL, and pure scientific genius from James Van Allen. It transformed the Jet Propulsion Laboratory from a simple rocket group into NASA's primary center for planetary exploration. The legacy of Explorer 1 is immense. It restored national pride, kick-started a wave of scientific and educational investment, and ultimately paved the way for the creation of NASA just a few months later. It showed that in the high-stakes game of the space race, it wasn't just about being first. It was about what you did when you got there. The quiet data stream from that tiny satellite spoke louder than Sputnik's famous beep, revealing a secret of the cosmos and setting the stage for humanity's journey to the moon and beyond. Thanks for watching. If you found this piece of history as fascinating as I do, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more stories about the moments that shaped our world. See you next time.